Special bulletin, tropical storm Melissa moving slowly. Risk of flooding threatening Jamaica, Haiti, and the Dominican Republic. Ladies and gentlemen, today is Thursday, October 23, 2025, and this is a special weather bulletin we have prepared to provide detailed updates on Tropical Storm Melissa, a system that is putting the entire Caribbean region on the highest alert. Melissa has clearly strengthened and is forecast to potentially reach hurricane strength as it nears Jamaica and Haiti in the coming days. This is a complex, slow-moving weather event with the potential to bring extreme rainfall, flash flooding, and landslides over a wide area. We will help you follow all the latest developments, from the storm's structure and the reasons for its slow movement to the areas shifting from monitor to action in their preparations. According to the latest report from the U.S. National Hurricane Center, NHC, early this morning the center of Melissa was located in the southern part of Hispaniola. That is, between Haiti and the Dominican Republic. The storm has sustained winds of around 80 km per hour, 50 miles per hour. Gusting over 95 km per hour, 59 miles per hour. With central pressure dropping to 1.003 millibars, indicating the system is continuing to strengthen. Although Melissa is still affected by upper-level wind shear, pushing the low-level circulation westward while strong convective clouds concentrate to the east, the sea surface temperature over the Caribbean is currently 30 degrees Celsius, 86 degrees Fahrenheit. An extremely high level that provides abundant energy for intensification. In other words, if shear decreases over the next few days, the storm could quickly reach Category 1, or even Category 2. At present, the most worrisome issue is not the wind, but the rain. Melissa is moving extremely slowly, almost stationary over warm waters. When a cyclone moves this slowly, it tends to drag on bands of rain that persist for many days. That is happening right now. Very tall convective clouds are forming continuously around the center, signaling heavy to torrential rain at least through the end of the week. The bright white cloud tops on satellite imagery clearly indicate deep convection reaching the highest levels of the troposphere and containing immense moisture. The National Hurricane Center and regional meteorological agencies have issued a tropical storm watch for all of Jamaica and placed southern Haiti, especially the Tiburon Peninsula, under a hurricane watch. This is a mountainous area with weak soils, prone to landslides, and one that has suffered heavy damage in previous storms. Local authorities have asked residents to proactively evacuate, stock up on food, clean water, and backup power, and closely follow weather bulletins over the next 48 hours. With the current track, forecast models indicate that Jamaica, Haiti, the Dominican Republic, and eastern Cuba are at the highest risk of being affected by Melissa. Beyond that, island nations such as Puerto Rico, the Cayman Islands, and the Turks and Caicos may also be indirectly impacted, with intermittent showers and gusty winds later this weekend. According to the latest numerical guidance from the European Centre for Medium-Range Weather Forecasts, ECMWF, total rainfall over the next 4 to 5 days could reach 300 to 500 millimeters, 12 to 20 inches. Locally exceeding 700 millimeters, 27 plus inches, in the mountainous regions of southern Haiti and southwestern Dominican Republic. Given the steep terrain and weak soils, this amount of rain may trigger severe flash floods, landslides, and deep inundation in low-lying areas. Many experts believe that if Melissa continues its slow movement, cumulative rainfall over a few days could equal half of the region's rainy season. In Jamaica, common totals are projected at 100 to 200 millimeters, 4 to 8 inches. But if the storm's center nears or stalls close to the island, those amounts could double. Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands may also face episodes of strong thunderstorms and Beaufort force 6 to 7 gusts as the storm's eastern circulation extends far outward. It is not only rain, the sea is becoming extremely dangerous. Radar and model observations show waves of 5 to 9 meters, 16 to 30 feet, forming around the waters south of Jamaica and Haiti. And if Melissa reaches hurricane strength, wave heights could reach 10 meters, 33 feet, accompanied by coastal water rises of 0.5 to 1.2 meters, 1.5 to 4 feet. Southern Haiti, eastern Jamaica, and northern Cuba are at risk of severe coastal erosion and seawater pushing inland, threatening coastal communities. Governments have advised vessels not to go to sea, not to anchor in shallow waters, and for people to avoid traveling near the shoreline while surf is high. What concerns meteorologists most right now is Melissa's near-stationary movement. The cause has been identified as two opposing high-pressure systems, one to the west over the Gulf of Mexico and one to the east over the eastern Caribbean. These systems rotate in opposite directions, creating a near-balanced wind field that leaves Melissa without a clear steering current, effectively trapping the storm in between. Unable to escape, it continues to draw moisture from the ocean, increasing rainfall and potentially intensifying over time. Currently, two main model camps are being tracked. The USGFS model suggests Melissa will move faster, heading northeast across southern Hispaniola and then out into the Atlantic. If that occurs, Jamaica would avoid the storm's center, but Haiti would bear extreme rainfall. However, this scenario currently appears less likely. Conversely, the European ECMWF model shows a slower, more westerly track, meaning the storm would stall near Jamaica for several days. This is the most dangerous scenario because it could allow the storm to reach Category 1 or Category 2 while producing extreme rainfall. Some other models, including Germany's ICON and Google DeepMind AI, also agree that Melissa is likely to approach or pass just south of Jamaica before turning north and heading toward Cuba or the Cayman Islands. Based on satellite imagery and observations, many experts believe the scenario of Jamaica being directly affected is becoming clearer. At this time, Haiti, the Dominican Republic, and Jamaica have all been placed in action mode, meaning preparations for emergencies must begin immediately. Cuba, the Cayman Islands, and Puerto Rico are in monitor mode, closely tracking the storm and ready to upgrade alerts if its track changes. In Haiti, many hillside communities have begun temporary evacuations, while in Jamaica, authorities advise residents to reinforce homes, check roofing, and stock necessary supplies. Major ports such as Kingston and Montego Bay have announced temporary closures for safety. Low-lying riverine areas, particularly along the Black River and Rio Minho, are under strict surveillance due to the potential for water levels to exceed third-tier flood alerts. Another factor that makes Melissa more dangerous is the ocean's deep layer heat content in the Caribbean. Typically, when a storm moves slowly, it churns cooler water from below to the surface, weakening itself. In this case, however, warm water is not limited to the surface, it extends deep below. This means Melissa continues drawing energy from warm waters at depth and is not weakening, on the contrary. It is strengthening. Many forecasts indicate that from the weekend into early next week, the storm will reach Category 1 or Category 2, and it is not out of the question that it could become a major hurricane, Category 3, if it remains in place too long. For Jamaica, rainfall is expected to increase over the next 2 days, starting from the southeast and then spreading across the island. Meanwhile, Haiti and the Dominican Republic will continue to experience extreme rainfall through Saturday, with widespread flash flood risks. Riverbank roads, mountain passes, and hillside communities should be especially cautious, as isolation for several days is possible. For Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands, while not directly impacted, outer rainbands may still cause localized flooding. Our observations show Melissa remains very slow-moving, nudging only slightly northward each hour. Heavy rain has begun in southern Haiti, and the first strong gusts are sweeping across eastern Jamaica. Within the next 24 to 48 hours, the system could strengthen into a Category 1 hurricane as it nears the area between Jamaica and Cuba. International experts are closely monitoring subtle changes in cloud structure to pinpoint when the storm reaches hurricane status. Elsewhere, the west coast of Canada, particularly British Columbia, is experiencing a separate stretch of severe weather. A strong atmospheric river is funneling into this region, transporting abundant Pacific moisture. In the coming days, heavy rain and strong winds will continue to affect the lower mainland, Vancouver, with total rainfall estimated between 75 and 100 millimeters, 3 to 4 inches. High winds may disrupt ferry services from Thursday night into Friday. Returning to the Caribbean, we want to emphasize at the end of today's bulletin, Melissa may not be the strongest storm in terms of wind, but it could be the most dangerous in terms of rainfall and duration. Wind intensity is only part of the picture. The storm's slow movement and the potential for days of heavy rain are the primary drivers of disaster. At this moment, the most important thing is not fear, but proactive preparation and mutual support. Rescue agencies, local governments, and communities are coordinating to minimize damage. But every resident must also play an active role, especially in spreading accurate information. When a storm moves slowly, every preparation made in advance is valuable. We will continue to monitor the entire evolution of Tropical Storm Melissa around the clock, providing continuous updates on changes in track, intensity, and affected areas. If you find this bulletin helpful, please share it, subscribe, and enable notifications to receive the latest information. In the coming days, we may face heavy rain and strong winds, but with careful preparation and solidarity, we will overcome this challenging period. Thank you for watching this bulletin. We wish you safety and peace, and we hope that Jamaica, Haiti, and the entire Caribbean will soon overcome the challenges nature has set before them.